Hi, I'm Stacy Esser with the Stacy Esser Group, and we are your trusted local real estate team. And today I am in Englewood at the interior design studio of Toledo Geller, and I am with Jessica and Virginia. Hi.
Hi, Stacy. Hi, Stacy. Thanks for having us.
Thanks for being with me. So we are here to talk about something that our clients are talking about, which is empty nesting.
Yes.
And
big topic.
Big topic, definitely something that people ask us a lot about. We have clients that are empty nesters, and so do you.
We do.
So what I wanted to do is ask you a few questions about what it is, how you help your clients, and the questions and the topics that come up regularly. So hopefully, maybe if it's coming up with you, somebody out there watching, maybe it's going to help them. Is that fair?
Absolutely.
But before we do that, will you do me a favor and give me a little synopsis of who you are and what you are, and so everybody out there can understand how fabulous you are?
Thank you. Thank you. Well, I'm Virginia Toledo, one half of Toledo Geller, and this is my amazing business partner, Jessica Geller. We've been in business 12 years now, focusing on the residential market of interiors, and we've been in Englewood 2 years, almost three. Time flies. And so, our projects run the gamut from full house renovations, apartment renovations, and all of that in between. But we definitely do have a great niche with the empty nesters and love working with them.
Right.
And you do as well.
I do as well, right. So I would say almost 65% of my business are all empty nesters, and the first question they have for me is how? Like, how am I going to go from all of this to this? And so I was wondering how you handle that conversation, how you tackle that conversation.
So we typically start with a visit to our clients' homes as well and see what furniture and furnishings they have that we can reuse, repurpose, reutilize in a new way, in a clean way, in a modern way, because one of the biggest things that we have is we've determined and realized with our clients that their style needs have changed from their previous current homes. They want something fresher, cleaner, brighter, more contemporary. So we do a deep analysis on their style, and we do an analysis on what pieces they have and how we can reinvent those.
Right, I get it. So they'll actually, will they know what their style is? I mean, so I'm guessing that most likely the last time they did a big rehab on their house was maybe 20 years ago.
20 years is usually the average.
Right. So how do you guide them through that?
So most people, whether they're empty nesters or aren't, don't necessarily know what their style is. I think it's much easier, we always say, for someone to say, I know I don't like this. It's much easier to do that than to go through, inspirational images and say, I love everything about this one interior, right? So they're like, oh, I love the sofa, but I hate everything else.
Right.
So that deep dive analysis that Jessica's talking about is basically this long questionnaire that we have our clients fill out. And it really talks, touches on a lot of points, not only some of your favorite, aesthetic things like color and that kind of thing, but really about how you want to live. Because how they have been living may not be the way they want to live. Because that house was designed most likely 20 years ago on average for a totally different lifestyle. They may have had school-age children at home at that point. They may have been working, crazy hours at that point. Now they're retired. Things are totally different.
So I'm going to put you on the spot and ask you, and this is not something we rehearsed, I promise, but what has been maybe like the craziest idea that, or wish, or must have that an empty nester has asked for? So what I'm saying is they've lived their whole life in a house that was basically built around maybe everybody else, their kids and the homework and everything that it revolves around being a busy parent. And now they have an opportunity to design a space that's just for them. So what would you say?
This is so funny.
I know.
Oh gosh.
You can spill it. You don't have to say who. You don't have to say who. But tell us.
I'm thinking that there's two empty nesters that we've worked with that both wanted all white everything. And to us with young children, it was like, oh my God, you want a white sofa and a white rug, and it was just like white. But there's that risk is gone for them at that point.
Right.
They didn't even care. One of them doesn't have grandchildren yet, so that's not even a thought for them.
Right.
And the other one does, and they said, that's okay. This is my space.
That was your space.
Right.
And anything else, like any kind of experiential room?
Well, it's funny you said. So what comes to mind was that, and it's so funny because it said, okay, my parents are in a similar situation. It gets a little personal, but the fact that the husband and wife don't share a room anymore.
Right.
Oh,
And that's not
interesting.
so uncommon, right? Like I thought
That's a whole nother video
another
series
topic,
coming
another
soon.
topic.
we'll get to it. And it's not, it's like, do you want more space? My parents, like I said, do the same thing. My dad snores. My mother doesn't want to deal with it. They still love each other dearly. It's just they want their own space. If they join at some point and during the week, I don't know. I don't want to know.
Right.
But the fact is, they each want their own spaces at the end of the night. And so it's so funny. So we had a project like that, and the wife's room was clearly much more feminine and the husband was much more masculine.
So just to be clear, you have been and you are being asked to design double master
Correct.
suites.
That's right.
Yeah, by the
who
way,
gets the
real
bigger one, the
master.
real one is another.
Right.
That's another tough call.
Right.
They either like roll,
Right.
flip a coin or something. I don't
Right.
know, but
So, I mean, that's a whole separate conversation. And I think what we're trying to say is if that's the way that you want to live your life,
Now's the time to
don't
do
be
it.
upset. Other people are doing it. So
and don't hide that from your designer. We've heard everything. Like
Okay, right.
that's why you hire us
Right.
to make those spaces come to fruition.
and that goes back to you really diving deep
Yeah,
into
exactly.
understanding how they're going to live in the
Right.
space.
Because it's all highly customized.
Right.
It's highly personal. It's
Right.
really for you specifically.
Right.
It's not copy and paste. It's not,
Every
this
approach is
one size fits all. It's all
all of
different.
it. So when they're worried, I'm going to go back and I'm going to talk about when they're worried about going from a big space to a small space. Let's talk tactical. How do you achieve fitting this into this? Even after they've decluttered and they've had an estate sale and they've had an antique person and they've junk luggered and all of that stuff. After they've done all those things, they're typically still going to be still have a lot of stuff and by the way that's going to cause them anxiety. That's going to cause them
Absolutely.
anxiety. So how do you handle that?
So we partner with our preferred mill worker, and we do a lot of customized built-ins. I think that almost every single project we work on entails built-in. So these are, whether it's for the home office, whether it's for more clothes storage, for overnight guests, whatever it is, with the client's needs in mind, we put pen to paper and design these highly customized built-in pieces of cabinetry along with our mill worker.
Right. Sometimes we've done Murphy beds within them because now they're
That's a
downsizing and
big thing too.
they don't necessarily want to give, even if there's a second bedroom or a third bedroom, it's not necessarily reserved for guests.
So I
It's
think
for children.
that is such a great idea, the Murphy bed
Right.
concept, because I think you would agree now you can make it look cool.
Oh my gosh.
Right?
You wouldn't even know
We
from
have
the
one
exterior.
It's dyed blue walnut. It's outrageous. It's beautiful, but you would
like
never know.
chunky hardware
Yeah,
on
you would
it.
never know that there's
Right.
something functional and what's traditionally thought of. Like when I think of a Murphy bed, I think of like my grandparents' house in
Right.
Vermont that we like
Formica closure.
That
Right.
we, like my brother would be like, I'm going to stuff you in there. right.
Not good. Not
Not
good.
that one.
So, and let me ask you this: what about closets? So how do you often work with unique closet vendors to help customize their?
Absolutely.
So how
Yeah.
does that work?
So we work with a few different closet vendors. Some of the companies are a little bit more on the DIY side, and others are highly customized. So they run the gamut. It just depends on the client's particular needs, how customized the unit needs to be, what their budget is for this project,
Right.
and so on and so forth. So
And we also work with home organizers. So they come in and, just look at every single thing that you have and does this need to stay? Does it need to go? And how can we organize it so that this is the best time to do it when you're shifting spaces?
Right.
Leave everything that you don't want and don't need
Right.
and start brand new.
otherwise, you'll never get rid of it.
Right.
If it comes to the new house,
It's
going to
staying.
stay.
If it moves with you,
It moves with you.
it's staying. So, what about people that are, concerned about how much it's going to cost, right, to hire specialist in the field, such as yourselves, to guide them through, you know, customizing their new space, right? Furniture plans. That's part of what I find is a very big challenge for people, is that they're just trying to understand how that furniture plan is going to work. So you have furniture plans or colors. I mean, so do you have to spend a lot of money? Are there ranges in what people can do?
Absolutely. I mean, I think over the last 2 years, we've developed so many different, what we call design packages for our clients, because we realize that even though for the majority of our business career, we've focused on the luxury high-end market, everyone deserves good design. And so we want to offer that. And so there are various packages that we offer to people. Some are highly curated, soup to nuts. You don't lift a finger. And others are, we can get you to a certain point with a furniture plan, a bunch of design suggestions, and then you actually go out and purchase those, you know, furnishings. You hire the subcontractor and whatever, but you actually have a blueprint, a game plan.
Right.
And experience has shown us that it's always more expensive when people try to do it on their own and make mistakes.
It is the same, by the way, in the real estate market. When people try to sell their houses by themselves, statistically they actually sell for less money. So yeah, it's the same thing. So just to summarize, what we're saying is that when would you recommend that an empty nester who has a house on the market, when would you recommend them starting to work with you? Because I would imagine that some people are, well, I don't know what I want. I don't know what my style is. I'm not sure the space I'm going to get. Have you ever actually like gone into an apartment, for instance, with an empty nester that like they haven't even rented yet or bought yet and help them?
We do.
We prefer to do that.
Right.
Yeah.
Because we can help them because we are really, it's such a personal relationship.
Right.
We can help them start to think about some of those questions about what they're looking for, what their needs are going to be, and start looking at their furniture in a new light and get them excited about the process, because it is so daunting. I mean, there's a lot of anxiety about it. There's lots of other things that come along with becoming an empty nester.
A lot of moving parts.
And it's so emotional. So we like to be there to support as early as we're able to.
Right. So this is Jessica Geller, and this is Virginia Toledo, and I'm Stacy Esser Group. We are your trusted local real estate advisors, and this was the first of more videos to come on empty nesting and how we can help you through that process. We have information below on some of the stuff we were talking about. We also have photos of their work, a link to your website, contact information when they can call you for a consultation. And we'd love to hear from you. If you have any suggestions for a topic you want us to cover, send it over, and if we choose your topic, we'll send you a gift, and we'll also talk about it. So thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next time.